Here's 5 tips for you on how to improve your virtual meeting. The first one is called taxi meetings. We do this the whole time in VTT. It's about booking in a meeting before and after a client meeting, an external meeting usually, to give time to prep and debrief. We usually put them in for like 10-15 minutes pre and post the meeting, and it works a dream. They're called taxi meetings because it's the equivalent of like jumping in a taxi together to drive to a face-to-face meeting at head office with your client and then driving back to the station together. So we're replicating that in a virtual way. So our next tip for virtual meetings is to really embrace the tech that is within Microsoft Teams. In your MS Teams chat or in a meeting, if you look at the bottom where you've got like the font, little icons, the paperclip to attach things, there's something that is a little icon that I always think for some reason looks like a tape measure. It's not, but that's called Loop Component. When you go in there, what you can create is editable, like shareable and editable lists, tables, task lists, action lists, bulleted lists. I love it when we're in a meeting to use that as the agenda so everyone can see it. It's in the chat box. People can add to it. When we complete an item, we can cross it off. Or if you want to use some of the different formats, you could actually use it as your actions as well. So against every agenda item, you can put whose action is that to take away, when's the deadline, and it's there as a live little mini document that sits within the chat of the team. You can share it, edit it afterwards as well. Next up is to urge you to use some of the collaboration features in MS Teams that already exist and that are getting better the whole time. So maybe you're using elements of like whiteboards, but are you using them really fully and intentionally to benefit your team's collaboration and how you brainstorm and get creative together? Whiteboards are one thing, and Excel Live is a fairly new thing in Microsoft as well. So when you share in a meeting, you'll have an option to do Excel Live. And when you click on that, you can open an Excel spreadsheet that you can all work on collaboratively within your meeting. Next, we've got video. Most people don't really like being on video, but it really helps to make a meeting be more immersive and for us all to feel more present and together. If your team don't want to be on camera the whole time, how about just committing to be on there at the beginning and the end? Or for many people, what they found uncomfortable about being on camera is the fact that they can see themselves, and that weirds them out. But it's easy to fix in Zoom and Teams, actually. In Teams, if you just get the 3 little dots that you can see on your video, click on them, there's a hide self-view option, which means you can't see yourself anymore, but everyone else can, so they feel that you're with them. And the final tip is to be more intentional about having healthier meetings. We all sit down a bit too much, and often we've got good intentions to do walking meetings, stand-up meetings, sitting on a bouncy ball, or even doing a treadmill meeting. Whatever it is for you, rather than just wishing that you'd done more of that this week, how about looking ahead at your calendar, looking at the meetings where you could maybe take the meeting outside, do it in a different way, and block that in, make the intentional move to make sure that it happens. Virtual meetings aren't going anywhere. They're staying right here. And my mission for you is to keep improving them so that you're loving the virtual meetings that you're having.